Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the brand new Real Techniques 6 Miracle Sponges. When I came across these, I wasn't actually looking for these in particular. I was looking for the Miracle Face Sponges because I've heard so many good things about them. The reviews are always awesome, and I'm not gonna lie, I had I think 2 beauty blenders and I didn't really look after them as well as I should have done, so they're really minging, like so gross. So I thought I better treat myself to a new one and hopefully I'll look after it a bit better. So yeah, originally I was looking for the orange ones in Superdrug, and I came across a basket which contained a massive load of these sculpting sponges here, and a lot of the little mini eraser ones all sold separately. They were about $5.99 a pop. For me personally, I tend not to use beauty blenders for like full face application like foundation or whatever. I only really use them to sort of blend away my concealer and like my contour and stuff. So I decided it would be better for me to pick up the sculpting sponge here and the little mini erasers as well, just to like do my under eyes and whatnot. Then I walked to the other end of the store where all the Real Techniques brushes are, and I found this, and this is a pack of 4. This contains 3 of the eraser sponges, 1 of the sculpting sponges, and then 2 of the Miracle Face sponges. And I know that when you buy these ones separately, they tend all to be around about $5.99. So when I picked up the 2 there, I realised it would probably be cheaper instead of buying 3 of these for around about roughly £19. It would be better just to buy the whole pack and get 2 of the sponges for about the same price. So to be honest, it was a little bit of a no-brainer really that I had to get this one. When I actually got them home and went online to have a look to do a little bit of research, I could not find them anywhere. This set is not on the Real Techniques website, it's not on the Boots website, and it wasn't on the Superdrug website at the time. Fast forward to a couple of days later, like today in particular, I went online to have a little look, and they did actually have them on the Superdrug website. That's the only website that they've got them on. They are sold out unfortunately, but they're still retailing for $19.99. Unfortunately, they are only sold in the UK at the moment according to the Superdrug website. As far as I know so far, these are not a limited edition set. I know a lot of the Real Techniques sets are limited edition. There are some brushes that you cannot get unless you buy the set in particular, and once they're gone, they're gone. They're advertised to be used wet or dry. It also says that they can be used to apply powders, creams, or liquid products. So today I'm going to try and apply as much as my makeup as I possibly can with these. I'd say probably my foundation, like my cream contour and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll try and bake with one of the Complexion sponges as well. I'm not entirely sure yet. And for me personally, I will be using them dry because the last time I used a beauty blender wet, I sprayed a bit too much water on it and it felt like I was squishing a piece of wet bread on my face. So since then, I have been completely put off by the thought of a wet beauty blender, to be honest. There's not much else I can say about this set really. I'm just very excited to try it out. So let's get straight on with the video, shall we? Okay, so as you can see now, I'm completely barefaced. I have got a little bit of primer on because I want my makeup to last for the day. I think I'm just going to pop my hair back first just to get it all out of the way. And then we'll get started. So firstly, I start off with my NYX Correct palette. I go in with this sort of like peachy kind of colour just on my dark spots. I do have a lot of patchiness and dark bits on my face that I like to just cover, mainly just around here. I just sort of go over those with a Zoeva brush, and then I'm going to blend it away with one of these little Miracle blenders. I think I'm going to go ahead and start to blend that away with the flat side of the eraser. Just all around the corners of my mouth. Next I'm going to go in and apply my Fit Me foundation all over my face, just before I go in to use my Complexion sponge to blend it all out. I'm going to go in and use the flat side of this sponge, just going in and patting all of the foundation blobs that I've put on my face out. So far it's looking like it's a good coverage from what I can see in the viewfinder. Normally I'd apply my foundation with a brush, like a flat top brush or an angled foundation brush maybe. But when I was using beauty blenders to do my foundation, I did really like the sort of flawless finish that they gave, so I was more than happy to give this a go. As you can see, everything is nicely covered. It's all even all over. It's a really flawless, nice finish on my skin. I absolutely love this. I am so annoyed that I haven't bought one of these sooner, I think. But just from pressing that foundation into my skin, I feel like it's setting quite nicely. It's not too wet like I normally find when I use a brush. It's not streaky at all, and every little crevice that I can find is completely covered. Next, I've gone in and I have applied my Maybelline Eye Eraser Concealer just on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, underneath my eyes and on my chin. I've also put a little bit down the sides of my mouth. Then I'm going to go in with the mini Miracle sponge and just blend out all the areas that I can. Predominantly I'm probably going to use the flat side, but I'm going to use the pointy side just to get around and underneath my eyes, I think. I really like how small and compact this one is, just purely because it keeps all of the product in the places that you put it. So I'm just going to go in now and do my under eyes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy with how this one is blending out all my under eye concealer. I've tried so many like angled beauty blenders and like little brushes and stuff to try and blend out my foundation and my concealer underneath my eyes as best as I can. So far, out of everything that I've ever used, this is the best. Sorry if this is a bit too up close and personal. I just thought I'd show you how nicely it's blended all of my under eye concealer and then show you like how it blends with the sponge. So I'm just gonna go in the flat one. It's just blending away all of the product so nicely, like I can't believe it. Then I'm going to go in and turn the Miracle sponge around to the pointy end once again, just to get into the inner corner of my eyes. You can quite clearly see the places that I've meant to put my concealer and I've blended it out. It just looks so flawless blended into my foundation eye. So next I'm going to go in and try and use the Sculpting sponge, the tiny little pointy end, to apply my contour. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to turn out. Hopefully it will be okay. If not, I'll just go in and do what I normally do and use the little brush that I always do to contour my nose. I mean, it's not bad, it's not as precise of a line as I would like it to be, but for the purposes of this video I am going to try and do everything that I possibly can with these sponges. I'm just going to go in now with the flatter side of the sponge and try and contour my forehead because it is one of the biggest foreheads on the planet. Then I'm going to go in and use the flatter side of the Sculpting sponge to try and blend it all out. I'd say that the forehead contour blended out quite nicely. I'm now going to go in and try and blend away my nose contour. As you can see, it's not blended as nicely as I'd like it to, so I think I'm just going to go over with the Complexion sponge with a little bit of foundation on it just to kind of like cover it up as best I can so there's no harsh lines. Actually, after doing that, it looks a lot better, nicely blended. It's still quite a subtle contour, but that's what I go for when I'm contouring my nose because, let's face it, there's only so many miracles you can work on a potato nose. Now I've gone in and completed the base of what I would put my makeup on, I'm going to attempt to try and use the Complexion sponges to bake a little bit, just underneath my eyes and sort of in the highlighted area. So fingers crossed it goes as well as the other ones did. I'm now going to try and use some loose powder just with the rounded side of the sponge and just tap it onto my face as best I can. I didn't think I was going to get this much done with sponges alone, because I'm so used to using brushes. Okay, so I'm looking a bit pale and crazy right now. I'm just going to let all of that powder set my makeup and bake it for a little while, I think. I'm going to go away and complete my everyday makeup look, come back, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of these sponges. So I'm back now. I've finished my everyday makeup look that I normally wear, and I have to say I am really impressed with these sponges. Like, I didn't think I would be as impressed as I was. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do the things that I wanted to do, but honestly I think they've really thought about how the shapes of the sponges will fit the contours of your face. Like for me in particular, the Complexion sponge, the rounded parts of the sponge here fitted really nicely in between the creases of my nose here. The option of having the flat and the round surface on this is absolutely excellent. I love that. This one in particular is my favourite one. I have been looking for something like this for so long. This is the perfect size. I love that you've got the option of having this flat surface there, but then you've also got a slightly smaller, flatter surface there for if you really want to get into underneath the creases of your eyes. Moving on to the Sculpting sponge, I'm not 100% sure on this one. For me personally, I don't think it's the most appropriate for what I'm looking for when I'm doing my makeup. I tend to use brushes for the bits that I'd use this for. Overall, out of the three, I think my favourite is definitely this one, if you probably haven't guessed already. Honestly, such a good investment. I would highly recommend these. I'm very happy with them. I will definitely be using them in the future. So that was my review of the new Real Techniques 6 Miracle Sponges. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave any links that I can find to this set down in the description below. If I can find them separately, I'll also link those below for you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!